So, you just announced a Green Lantern show.
It's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. So,
Right.
So now it's just lanterns.
So, Green Lantern, the lantern. So you can make anything you can imagine.
That if you have this magical ring,
Right.
Yes.
And the fights are still close.
Yeah.
Interesting. Can I ask you about World War Z?
Please.
A year and a half ago, Damon Lindelof appeared on the Love It or Leave It podcast and was asked about his upcoming work on the Green Lantern show, The Lanterns. Damon Lindelof says that the show is just called Lanterns and not Green Lanterns because he and the other members of the creative team thought that the color green is stupid. Of course, Damon Lindelof says this while wearing a green shirt. So does Damon Lindelof and the rest of the Green Lantern team hate the Green Lantern comic books and also despise the comic book fandom? This is a debate being had right now not only amongst Green Lantern fans but also amongst Green Lantern creators. We see two of the most well-known Green Lantern creators, Grant Morrison and Ethan Van Sciver, taking polar opposite sides. And many fans also had very strong opinions going in both directions. This X-user says it couldn't be more obvious that this is a joke. Another fan sees things completely differently. The absolute disdain this moron has for the source material and its fans is speaking volumes. To the new owners of WB/DC, please do hire people that have respect and admiration for the comic books and its characters they are adapting. Enough of these nihilistic idiots invading and destroying our spaces. Another fan snidely replied, "It's called Man because we all agreed that Bat was stupid." Another fan says that Lindelof is talented but needs to stay away from pre-existing intellectual properties. If you think the green is stupid, you shouldn't be involved in the production of a Green Lantern show. Another fan voiced his frustration, saying why do they keep getting people who don't like comic books to make comic book shows? Many other fans seem to have been upset by Damon Lindelof's remarks, but not everybody on the internet seems to be against the show. In fact, one Green Lantern writer in particular seems to be strongly in the favor of it, and that is Ron Marz, one of the most controversial Green Lantern writers. Known for having Hal Jordan turn into the evil villain Parallax, killing off the Green Lantern Corps and the Guardians of Oa. Surprisingly, Ron Marz isn't the only Green Lantern comic book creator who comes in favor of the show. Both Ethan Van Sciver and Jeff Johns restored Hal Jordan to his heroic state. And their work on the Sinestro Corps War and also Green Lantern Rebirth are frequently classified as the greatest Green Lantern stories of all time. Nonetheless, in the world of comics, Ethan Van Sciver has also come to be known as a controversial figure, largely for his outspoken political beliefs. His ties to the media and mainstream comics have been severed. And even though it's been 8 years since the termination of his contract with DC, he still doesn't seem to be welcome in the mainstream industry, as he had been banned from C2E2 in 2024. This is why so many Green Lantern fans were surprised to see Ethan Van Sciver speak favorably of the Lanterns show. Some were even very angered by Ethan's defense of the Lanterns show.
I might have to join Dante.
We're doing okay so far, man. We're doing okay.
Where's Burnett?
You're drunk.
Boring ceremony. Is Robert Meyer Burnett coming
he's
on?
supposed to be here.
Yeah. But his boy is doing an Oscar watch party too.
Who, John Roca or Campia?
Campia. Roca has no neck. He can't turn his head.
I can't stand Roca, man. I can't. Dude, look, I'm going to say it. And this online thing I got going on right now with EBS, fuck that guy.
You cancer, bro. You just got to ignore him.
Who? I know, I should.
Exactly.
But he's been quote tweeting me a lot lately, so fuck him.
Because he wants your clout, bro. You just got to ignore it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening on John Campia's channel.
Oh, are we stream sniping him?
And perhaps even more shockingly, they also saw him defend Damon Lindelof. But Grant Morrison, a former creative partner of Ethan Van Sciver who worked with him on the New Mutants, gave a completely different opinion. Not only did Grant Morrison torch the Green Lantern show, but also said that Damon Lindelof wasn't apt to write it. Ethan Van Sciver was adamant that Damon Lindelof was just joking. Ethan says he laughed when he said it. He doesn't think Green Lantern is stupid. Ethan Van Sciver went on to say, "We're going to run into the same problem over and over again, where Asperger's Generation Y cannot comprehend the humor of Generation X. Let me help. We use sarcasm a lot. We assert the absurd dryly and blandly, because it's more provocative that way. This used to be the way everyone spoke. MTV's Daria and Kids in the Hall summed up this effect. Then 9/11 happened, and suddenly everyone became fake angry victims, and saw Gen X patois as literal. It's about how making jokes about Republicans being Nazis made me an actual Nazi when I was being cancelled. And it's why you can't recognize humor in the guy who is writing the new Green Lantern show, explaining that he took green out of the title because green is stupid. He is being absurd. He is being provocative. He is trusting that you know that he is being absurd. He is wearing a green t-shirt while he says green is stupid. But Grant Morrison had a very different take. He spoke on his blog saying TV writer/producer Damon Lindelof's comments notwithstanding, the Green Lantern in Green Lantern's green is not stupid. Why does a writer attach himself to this kind of narrative if he thinks it's fundamentally stupid? You don't hand CSI scripts to patronizing writers who condemn the forensics experts and their haircuts as stupid. So why hire people who are ashamed and in denial about the comic book material they've been assigned to develop? Why don't they turn the jobs down they're not suited for? It's not like he needs money, and Lindelof has proven that he can come up with his own ideas. What is this jockish dismissal of superhero conventions intended to prove anyway? Does Lindelof imagine it makes him seem less nerdy? It's a bit too late for that, so what's it all about? Green Lanterns is a much more evocative and dramatic title than Lanterns. Just as Raise the Red Lantern is a better movie title than Raise the Lantern. And anyone who can't grasp why that is shouldn't be anywhere near superhero stories. The show might even be good, but how much better could this stuff be if studios were willing to hire the right people for the job, instead of phoning their embarrassed friends to water the source material down? After hearing Grant Morrison's scathing remarks, Damon Lindelof decided to address the controversy. I have upset Grant Morrison, which means I have now pissed off most of the British-Scottish comics writers that I grew up idolizing. To quote the bard Otis Redding, this is nobody's fault but mine. I made a dumb joke on a comedy podcast. I'm not going to bob and weave more about the context. The joke was dumb. The fandom is not. I owe them an explanation and a genuine reflection of my actual feelings. The very first time I appeared on a Comic-Con panel was for The Lost Pilot back in the summer of 2004. I wore my favorite t-shirt as I had long grown out of my favorite underoos, those being the uniform of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern of Sector 2814. For a quiet, uncoordinated kid, there was nothing cooler than a hero whose superpower was his imagination. And green is not stupid, it is my lifelong favorite color, and I have a questionnaire that I filled out in the 3rd grade to prove it. More importantly, it would be a betrayal to everyone I worked for and alongside to say anything other than I was absolutely honored to be a part of the team that manifested the incredible construct that is Lanterns. Because it was. I was sloppy and careless with my words. Ironic considering I care so much about Hal, John, and the entire Corps. I can and will do better to be worthy of the oath. Until then, I'll let the show speak for itself, and I can't wait for you all to hear what it has to say. So is Damon Lindelof an actual Green Lantern fan, or is this just an attempt of corporate cleanup? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or...
You are a hoe-ass